Yo, we are back. DownShiftRadio.com. Tonight's special guest, DB. You just heard DB and Jason Jinx on the decks. Make some noise. Fellas, thanks a lot, first of all, for coming down. It's definitely a pleasure having you here.
Thanks so much for having us down. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a nice setup you got down here.
Thank you. First of all, let's hear about how you got started in this DJ game.
Well, being that DB's the youngest, I'll let him start first.
I can't remember that far back, man. I've been DJing professionally for 20 years now.
Wow.
So I'm way old. I started in London. I came to New York in 1989. Started playing all the sort of hot spots at the time, the Limelight, Red Zone, all those places. And really the music I wanted to play, the crowds at those clubs weren't receptive to it. So I started throwing my own parties. First it was a club called Deep, and then eventually NASA, which is how we ended up here.
Great. Jason, how did you start?
I started just by being a fan of music, going out since probably I was 15 years old, going to both gothic and industrial clubs in Long Island and house music clubs in Manhattan. And just being from on the dance floor so much, I really wanted to take it the next step, and I started DJing, bedroom DJ. Luckily made friends who then gave me gigs, like DB at NASA, and the ball just kept rolling.
All right. Tell us about how NASA got started. What was the idea? How did that start?
The idea was very simple. We wanted to play UK hardcore breakbeat music, and none of the clubs in New York, none of the raves around New York were playing that kind of music, really. So there was a sort of a little team of DJs. There was Jason, Arnie, Soul Sling, and myself, all really in love with that music, and we just started throwing a party with that being the main focus. We did play house and trance and some, American stuff as well, but the focus was really on UK hardcore.
All right. What about that NASA reunion that just happened a while ago? What was the idea about that? How did that go?
That's a great topic. The party went amazing. It was a great event. I know everyone had a great time. Every DJ who came down really rocked. Great, amazing sets. Like it was great to have everyone together in the same room. The crowd was beautiful, right? I'm trying to be positive because those were the things that I would like to remember about it. After all was said and done, unfortunately, DB got his generosity taken advantage of. We'll put it nice and simple. If you don't know the story, we're not going to get into it right now, but if you do, you know what we're talking about. So basically, segueing into what we are doing, we're throwing a party now, which will be Thursday, July 29th at Avalon, and it's called Payback, and the name is kind of what it is.
I love the name.
It's a benefit to make back the money that DB invested that kind of went unspoken for, we'll just say, went missing.
Yeah, well, we heard the story on many message boards online. Hard to believe, that even a well-known producer, DJ, still get the shaft nowadays.
It's a simple thing as, we have the love for the music. We're not businessmen. We didn't go to school to be businessmen. Just because you leave yourself open doesn't mean you should be taken advantage of. That's all we'll say.
Right. Are you guys planning to do any other, like a regular party? You guys are doing any regular parties, like on a weekly, monthly basis?
I'm really not a promoter anymore. It takes too much out of you. It's like a thankless job. I'm very grateful that I'm able to just DJ, now and earn a living from that. The reason I started throwing parties in the first place was so I could DJ. It was just to get on the decks.
Tell us about your store, Breakbeat Science.
Breakbeat Science is now 7 years old. It was opened to be the first drum and bass only store in America. It is on Orchard Street in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. We now sell a bunch of other stuff apart from drum and bass records. We sell some merchandise, Breakbeat Science merchandise, but also some really cool designer stuff. And we just opened in Japan last month.
Very nice.
Breakbeat Science in Tokyo, which is really exciting. Yeah.
You guys have a site, right? What's the name of the site?
breakbeatscience.com if you want to go check it. You can listen to music for hours on there if you want to just peruse what's out there, you know, the latest releases and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and you should check Breakbeat Science message board. The whole NASA Rewind story is on there in full detail.
Jason, you have a website also, I hear?
Yeah, I have actually a couple. I have one for myself as a producer, remixer. That's jasonjinx.com. And then I have a record label that I run called Club Recordings, and the site is www.clubrecordings.com.
What kind of music are you putting out on your label?
We're putting out funky, chunky house. Let's just put it that way. It's all house music. It's anywhere from vocal to tech.
How many releases are you up to?
We are on our 4th now, so we've only been rolling for about a year and change.
What about, you have a label going on right now still?
Breakbeat Science is a full label. I've done 2 mix CDs on Breakbeat Science, but the last year I've actually been working on an artist album, my first, with a producer called Stacker, who's a well-known drum and bass producer. But the album is very, very different from anything either of us have ever attempted to do. It's a full song-driven album. There's 10 full songs with originally written compositions. Julie Cruz from Twin Peaks days wrote and sung 4 songs on the album. That's probably going to come out towards the end of the year. So that's what I've been really working on for the last year.
Very nice. You guys are doing another party, a benefit coming up. What was the date again?
July 23rd at Avalon.
Avalon, right?
July 29th, sorry. Tickets are going to be $7 in advance and $10 on the door. The lineup so far, and it's going to get added to, but the lineup so far is Josh Wink, Dave Ralph, Nigel Richards, AK-1200, Jason and myself, Junior Sanchez, Odie, and there's a bunch of people who are tentatively booked, but they can't confirm as of today. So.
That's a very nice lineup. Tell us about the scene right now, the whole drum and bass scene. How's that going? Is it still strong or what?
Drum and bass is strong. I mean, as you all know, dance music is going through a very weird phase. It's hurting like any other of the scenes. It's definitely, in terms of people going out to parties, in terms of record sales, it's down. But people who are fanatical for it are fanatical.
True. So what's the future for you guys? What are you guys doing? What are you guys planning?
Just working on this party right now and the album for me.
I mean, it's an open field out there. Me and DB are actually working on a T-shirt company too, which is we're branching in different directions. I mean, music will always be first and foremost in both of our lives. It's like in us. You can't take that away. But we're also artists in different medias. So, I mean, music and art for me is my focus. But just because the scene is on a downslope doesn't mean we're going to turn around and walk away.
Right, exactly. You just got to ride it for now. Hopefully you'll get better. Any questions from the audience over there?
You?
You with the funny shirt. I got one for DB actually. I know you're originally from England. How would you, when did you actually move out to New York, and how do you compare both scenes? Well, obviously the strong scene in England, and if England is so much more progressed with that, what is your explanation of that?
I came to New York in 1989. The main difference that I've observed in the years that I've been here, the reason dance music is sort of stronger in European countries as opposed to America, I think, is something to do with the fact that US kids get into dance music really fanatically, and then they burn out on it. Whether they burn out on the drugs and they think they can't still be into dance music because they stopped taking drugs, I don't know. But in England, you can go to a club and there'll be 35-year-old guys and girls on the dance floor. In America, it's like a young thing, and when they burn out, it's done. And so they moved on to something else.
Yeah, but 35 is still young. I'm 34, or a child.